Good evening and welcome to another episode of Rinsing People's Adverts. Now, this time round, it is Ford's turn. I am going to be doing a Rover video very soon on this, but we've visited the usual places like eBay and Auto Trader, maybe a bit of Gumtree, but we haven't looked at probably the most difficult place to buy a reliable motor without being stung, lied to, or downright fraud and theft, quite frankly. And that is Facebook Marketplace. And this is definitely a haven of all sorts of connotations and consequences. So I am going to have a little look and we will see how good people's adverts are and what sort of lies people can come up with, especially with Mark 1 focuses. Before we start, I will make one comment, a slight disclaimer. I make no apologies for being quite straight and honest with some of the adverts that I see, because quite frankly, knowing these cars quite well, I can spot lies a mile off, particularly when people are very vague with their pictures and their commentary in the description, or lack of it, I should say. That is the first telltale sign that something is not quite right. A genuine owner will always put a decent amount of information on the description, but obviously on Facebook Marketplace it's laid out a little bit differently, a little bit more casual, so that you can literally go, oh right love, shall we sell the car today? Okay, no problem. Done. Literally in about a minute you could sell your car with a couple of dodgy pictures, half-hearted adverts, etc. However, can you actually find any bargains within Facebook Marketplace? Oh, dear. Sorry, wrong page. I am absolutely not looking at Rover 600 and Metros. I can honestly assure you. Oh my God, my recent searches. This is not good. This is absolutely not good at all. Yeah, not good at all. You did not see this whatsoever. Now, obviously on Facebook Marketplace, I'm going to just bring you here, okay? There are a lot of search parameters that I'm just going to angle that straight up, okay? Yeah, okay, right. That's much better. Now, there are a lot of search parameters, so I'm going to set this to national instead of just Birmingham. So let's just set it to, oh, you can't. Right, set it to 500 kilometers, and that kind of sets the boundaries. Actually, that might be a bit too much. Yeah, I don't want cars in France, so maybe 250 kilometers would be better. Okay, we're not going to go for a minimum price, but we could see if we can narrow the field down. I suspect strongly there's a lot of newer Ford Focuses, but actually we've got one that's already come up here. Actually, it's in Birmingham, of all things. Oh, okay. So we have the first one in 495 a day ago. I'm trying to just get the angle right for you, so just bring you across here. There you go. Manual gearbox, 115,000 miles, 51 plate, 1.8. 3 owners, some new. Yep, 1.8, 10 months MOT, tax to September, full logbook insured, and it looks like, yep, it's a dealer. 100% it's somebody who may not be a dealer, but he's trying to sell it privately. And this is one thing that I advise you be very careful of. There are so many people now that, I mean, this description for me looks like a generic, basically someone who either is a dealer or isn't a dealer, a registered dealer, but they sell a lot of cars, so they flip cars. And this is something you might get on here. But at 495, what is the problem with this car? It was listed a day ago. And it looks quite nice. Colour's nice. Very nice. Doesn't appear to be any massive dents or issues here. Well, firstly, why is he selling it for £500 if it's so good? He hasn't given any description. This is not good. This tells me absolutely nothing. So it's just past an MOT. I mean, it looks tidy enough. It looks really tidy in the pictures, but he could have just washed it for all I know. So, yeah, the fact there are no dents, and that looks rather good on the inside. I mean, that looks good as well. There's no dents on the side. I could have sworn that there is a bit of fade on this rear quarter panel. In fact, I think there is. I think there's a bit of paint fade, but that's okay. That's to be expected. But this doesn't tell me anything, so you would have to really look into it a bit more. But at that price, yeah. But unfortunately, at that price, that's too good. What is wrong with this car? I mean, I can't see any signs of visible rust, which is why I'm getting a bit curious about this. Maybe I should go and see this person because I live in Birmingham and for £500 you're not losing out. But I'm a bit concerned about what could be lurking underneath that. That is something to be aware about. That's just too cheap. And I'm sorry, but I'll say it again. That's too cheap. It's very suspicious. Now, you might be wondering why I'm looking at a Mark IV 2019 Ford Focus. Well, I'll tell you something. This is really, really suspicious because £3,000 a week ago, manual gearbox, which is quite interesting because a lot of these are automatics now. Absolute mint condition. He actually puts a description. Absolute mint condition. Bodywork immaculate. Unmarked alloys like new. Drives absolutely faultlessly from a car that's only covered 16,000 miles from new. Comes fully loaded. ST line. It's a 1 litre petrol, so the EcoBoost. So cheap on tax. Insurance with the added benefits of being an ST line, which comes with all these features. Comes with 12 months MOT. I'll service it ready for the new owner, so the new owner will have a fully peace of mind. I've just had all the wheels aligned with the wheels refurbed. No expense has been spared on the car since we've owned the car the last 2 years. Just had a full valet. Jonathan, why are you selling it for £3,000? It's a 2019 plate car. Why? This is really dodgy, this is, guys. I would walk right away because there is no way that is a £3,000 car unless it's a Cat C, or, well, it wouldn't be a Cat C because that's an old designation, but it could be a Cat car, and he's not being very honest about that. I'm sorry, but could he be the most generous seller in the world? Well, like the first advert, it's just way too cheap. I'm sorry, but there is something seriously wrong. I can barely get a £3,000. For £3,000, you'd be lucky to get a Mark III Focus for a 2013 plate, let alone this. So no, be very careful about this. I mean, I would contact the fella, but the moment that he mentions or you see a problem, walk straight away because it's no doubt expensive, and that's why he's selling the car. And we come to the next advert, a 52 plate gear Focus. Well, for a start, this is a bit of a problem because a lot of people put free on Facebook adverts because most people will look towards the bottom end of the market, so the lowest price first, and then you sort it in the order and all the free stuff comes up, so it gets their car advertised, okay, very easily at the bottom end of the market. This was advertised free 6 weeks ago, hasn't been taken down. 80,000 miles, manual gearbox, but he's got the engine wrong. That's a very bad sign that he doesn't know what he's selling, and it could be, again, a dealer disguised as a private seller. And obviously, when you're selling a car privately, you're getting less protection, so you haven't got any protection that you would from a dealership, which is wrong, I'm afraid. It's just wrong. All interior invaluable. If I found out that someone was selling a car privately when they're actually a dealer, I report them, seriously, because I'm not being funny. It's not very fair to honest dealers who actually sell their cars above the book, through the books, and not through the back door. Excuse me, having a sip of my tea while I'm doing this. Front and back lights, front grille, yeah, I know what it's got. Drop me a message and ask. Oh, Jesus Christ, I hate it when people do that. There's just no description. It's just lazy. Oh, it's a 2 litre, so he's got that wrong as well. So this is actually a 2 litre, so it could be fairly desirable, and that's just rubbish. That is just rubbish. I mean, this guy just could not be bothered to take photos of it. He just took a picture of the front, a picture on the tow truck, which looks really attractive and makes me think there is something seriously wrong with this. So presumably it's been broken. I can only assume it's been broken. All interior available. I presume that's why he's selling this. Just put braking, okay? Just put braking. Honestly, just put braking. Don't waste people's time. All these cars must be up for braking, braking, braking. This is just where they go. Oh, dearie me. It's just like the bottom end. I mean, oh yeah, a quid. That's better than free, isn't it? I mean, what's this one in Rochester? 2 weeks ago, manual gearbox. Oh, it's breaking. Another 3-door ST170 being broken for its spares. Lovely to see. It's lovely to see people are, well, quite frankly, treating them like money pits. It saddens me. It really does. I'm sorry. Oh, what's this now? And we've got this. You can't even, well, see the translation. Hi, I sell for, I also give difference, price 700. Can't understand a word you're saying. Please write it in English. Oh, just, it really is off-putting. Right, so again, I don't like it when people take pictures in portrait mode. Can we get it in landscape? Because it just looks rubbish. 130,000 miles for £450. 1.4, so I can see it's a CL because it's got the trims. Yeah, bottom spec model. It's for sale. There's no MOT or tax. Sold as seen. Drives fine. Well, if it drives fine, why is there no MOT on it? Clearly, there's a problem. Unless it's rust. In that case, it's not fine. It's just sadly up for breaking. 450 gear, nice alloy. I always like these alloys. I think they're quite smart on the later gears. Got the engine size wrong. To reduce unnecessary messages, this car is still available. It will be marketed, sold as soon as it's gone. Thanks. Last MOT. Now this is good. This is exactly what I would like to see. So let's read this. Last MOT had a small weld on the rear driver's sill. Yep, okay, usual. Has some rust on the arches, but not structural. I think it would be structural unless it's just the lip that's gone. But I'm pretty damn certain it would be structural, especially near the seatbelt mounting points. But hey, it's his car, not mine. It has developed a power steering fluid leak, I think from one of the pipes. That will most likely be the switch, I can assure you. That's me talking, so he hasn't written that. That will be the switch, I'm pretty sure. A set of pipes are around 50 quid to buy on eBay. I'm not sure it's the pipes, but again, it's his car, not mine. But I'm just assuming that it could be the switch because it's most likely going to be. It does drive, but if you top the fluid off, but not sure how far it will go before needing topping up again, fair enough. I have a bottle of fluid for the buyer to get home. Nice. It has 3 new tyres last year. The remote central locking doesn't work from the key fob, but does when unlocking from the driver's door. That's another strange one. Okay. The key itself is worn and won't open the boot. However, the spare key will open the boot. That sounds like the actual, the electronic part in the key fob is not working. The aircon doesn't work. Never try to regas it. So mainly that. That's probably the condenser at the front, but could be something else. MOT is to the 7th of April 2023. Oh, that's good. That's very handy. The MOT is passed. That's good. So why didn't he put expired? I don't know. As it has new minor faults, because of its age, I'm selling as spares and repairs. Oh, why didn't he just put that at the start? Why didn't you just put braking for spares? You do not need to do this. Oh. Okay, this one is pending a 2004 1.8 gear by the look of it. Yeah, it is a gear 475, so it's pending. So obviously someone's put an offer in for it or coming to collect it. Right, this is good. Right, for spares and repairs, there you go. Makes it straightforward, nice and clear, exactly what you need to know. So you know what you're getting in for. If you don't want it, move on. Let's have a look at the photos. Yeah, nice house. It's always good to see. I don't judge people on their houses, but there is a higher likely chance the nicer the house, the more well kept the car is. I wonder if you've got any experiences about what I've just said there. Maybe you've seen a really mint car outside of a council house. As I say, I don't judge on where people live, but it does catch your eye a little bit, doesn't it? Especially with a nice garage. So it might have been parked in there, you never know. Yeah, sun's in a lot of these photos. It's taken on a phone, but yeah. I don't really think that sort of window is a very nice piece of architecture. If you're standing there, you just might as well put yourself on full view in your bedroom. Good architecture for 80,000 miles. 5 doors, MOT to November, 2 keys, some service history. It was running fine until 2 weeks ago. Issue below started after a round trip to IKEA. Now this is good. This is exactly what I want to see. The details of the problem and the minor problems, so you know what you're going in for. Big problem: bad engine noise on idle. OBD saying misfire on cylinder 4. New plugs have been fitted. Noise still persists. Most likely it's the coil pack or the HT leads, but the spark plugs would have been a good fit, and they've obviously tried to cure it cheaply. That's fine. Minor problems: coolant leak from somewhere around the thermostat housing. That's usual. Intermittent battery drain issue if the fuse for the radio is plugged in. Well, that's obviously the radio. Though they've done the hard bit, they've located what the problem is, but the radio is obviously causing a bit of a drain. Most likely it will be a dodgy radio, but you know, these things can happen. And a leak from the rear windscreen washer pipe near the boot hinge. Well, unfortunately, that is because the actual pipe has split. Most likely, you may have wiring problems as well, because if the pipe has actually split, it's possible that the wiring could have gone the same way as well. So, yeah, it needs repairing with a second-hand one. Bodywork damage in a number of places as per the photos, where I can see some dings. It's very obvious. No test drive further than the drive, as I don't want to get stuck somewhere. Well, that's fairly honest. As long as I go and see the problems on the driveway, I'd know why he may not want to drive it. And looking at this big problem, he says, big problem. It's not a big problem, because I'm pretty sure that would be the coil pack. The only situation where I think that might be more of a detailed, expensive issue is if the coil pack has actually started to go and it has spiked the ECU, and the ECU is now faulty, and that's why we've lost fourth cylinder, because the ECU is unfortunately spiked. It's broken. But I would say, because it's only cylinder number 4, the chances are it's a coil pack or HT lead. Recommend on pickup you have someone with you to tow if required. Cash only, no holding. Well done, sir. Whoever you are is Donna. Really good advert. Exactly what you need to know. And I would absolutely be willing to look at this car more than other cars. In fact, I'd probably put my money in this rather than nicer examples, because if that description matches what I would see if I went to view this car, I would 100% give 475 over, no questions asked. Well, maybe 450. We'll make him come down by 25 quid. Put a bit of fuel in. Now, some people might accuse me that I'm looking at the bottom end of the market, but I think it's quite interesting to see where the bottom end of the market is. £500, 2002, Panther Black, 5-door, lovely car. Zetec, by the look of it. Yep. Spares or repair. Good one, sir. Straight away to the point. 160,000 miles. Leak on the power steering. Bodywork needs TLC as shown in the photos, but drives well for its age. It's MOT till March. Well, it's already passed, mate. It's already passed. Maybe this advert has been up for longer. It looks pretty straight in the photos. There is a dent there that I've just identified. Not the deepest. Yeah, unfortunately, there looks to be a lot of rot on this front wing. I don't know if the camera can actually pick that up. There we go. Can you just see all that? And you've got a bit of scabbiness there. That there is some suspicious stuff going on down here, but that's usual. There's a crack in the front bumper. There's a scuff on the back bumper. He's been very honest about this, because this is that's bad. That's bad. Usually on Mark 1s they rust there and there, but they don't usually rust all the way around. That is some serious rust on that, but they can be swapped. For £500, I think that's worth a punt. I really do. If you want a car to get from A to B, spares or repair, repair, 100%. And here we have a 2001 51 plate, pre-facelift, Mark 1, 525, 128,000 miles, manual gearbox, Moondust Silver, 1.8, one owner from new. Okay, I'm now instantly interested. The only thing I will say about this picture that the guy has made a bit of an error on, why do people try and block the registration plate? Look, I'm not being funny. I give this opinion when I'm filming somebody's car and they tell me to block out the registration or not show it in the camera. And I'm thinking, okay, it's your personal choice and I have to respect that and I have to do as I'm told. But I do point out to people that there is no point in doing that. Your registration plate, whether it's on the internet or not, like both my cars, you are driving down a public street, your registration plate is visible to every single pedestrian going. If it's sitting on your driveway, people can see your registration plate. Why do people block registration plates out for adverts? I do not know. It looks like you're trying to hide something because you can uncover a lot of stuff by doing MOT history checks. And I'm not being funny, this guy hasn't even done it properly. He's blotted it on some sort of app on his phone and I can still see the registration. Oh, dearie me, that is an epic fail. Oh, well, he's done a better job at the back, hasn't he? I can't see that. Good job, sir. But the problem is there's no point doing it at the back because I can see it at the front. That is an almighty fail, sir. Dent. But not too bad. Looks okay. Well, these sill covers can hide a multitude of sins. We all know that. Clean, but where's the parcel shelf? That's missing. Leather seats, very desirable. That is really good. And again, no point in doing that, sir. But nice to know you supplied the tyres. 1.8, cam belt and clutch renewed at 118,000 miles. See the receipt. Ah, that's a very good thing to see. Well done. Good body with the sunshine roof, which is always a good thing with a Mark 1. Nice to see a sunshine roof. Full leather seats. One of them is damaged. Carpet, that's easy done. Carpets and interior very clean. No parcel shelf, that's very honest because I can see that. One owner from new, no MOT, cash only sale. Well, honestly, I don't think you could get a nicer example for that sort of money. And I'd like to know what's wrong with it. Why are they getting rid of it? Maybe it's just the owner has maybe passed away and it's somebody selling it on his behalf. Maybe a son, maybe. That's a nice car. Well, this one's caught my attention. 550 2000 Ford Focus Saloon. Very tidy indeed. And the best thing about that photo is the fact that it looks as if it's being stored in a garage. That is really good to see. That is really good to see. One owner from new, 20,000 miles. Eh? 20,000 miles. One owner from new, manual, has some scrapes and bumps, as you would expect for the car this age. Though shown in the pictures, it does need a new fuel pump, so it will need to be picked up or towed away. Everything else works fine. We just don't have the time to sort it, unfortunately. It's been on Sawn since 2017, so that's why it's been in there. Only message if genuinely interested. Silly offers will be annoyed. Oh, come on. There's just a little bit there. A few scuffs there. That's it. That's the only damage in these pictures. Would I have a look at this? Yeah, I certainly would have a look at that. 100%. And welcome to the laziest advert of the day. It goes to this 1999 Ford Focus, £550 for an X-Reg. And I believe it doesn't even say, I can't really tell what spec it is. It is the only picture supplied, and that is all he has put. It is a 1.8 MOT until July, but it's got a snapped front right spring, and the clutch is high, so the clutch is on its way out. 550. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying earlier. This is a typical Facebook marketplace. I need to get rid of this car. There are problems. I just need to get shot of it. I tell you what, that's actually possibly the car to go for, because it could be an absolute gem and the owner is getting rid of it because, quite frankly, he considers it to be uneconomical to repair, or just went shot of it because it's an old Focus. I tell you what, if your name is Bill, that's the perfect registration plate. Yeah, nothing else. Well done, Mr. Castle. His name is. I can't say his first name. Mr. Castle. The reward goes to you for the stupidest, most laziest advert of the day. This is actually turning into quite an interesting episode. 550 again, 133,000 miles, 1.8 diesel, so probably a TDDI according to this. Long MOT to September this year. Okay. Surprisingly, runs and drives like a dream. Same can't be said for the bodywork, which is rough as a wet dog. I love that description. Okay, the ideal workhorse. And you know what? That's a good advert, because you're just not portraying it as anything else, because look at it. It is a workhorse. It is something you'd buy if you need something. It's been sold in Bolton. And it looks as rough as... I shouldn't say that, actually, to be fair. It's not very nice. There's a lot of scabs and... Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. How that has passed an MOT, I don't know. Because if that outer skin is that bad, what's it like on the inside? Because I can guarantee it's rotten all the way through. Oh my God. Oh dear, the old gaffer tape's come back out. Because naturally that would be an MOT foul with sharp and jagged edges. Because the kids are going to touch your car and get tetanus. Well, it looks really clean inside. Yep, it's the workhorse, which is what these are. What a funny advert. 550, make it 500 and you'd probably have somebody on your doorstep. I'm going to be honest with you here. I have set the parameters. It's reset itself a little bit, but I set the parameters ages ago up to 3,000. For some reason, it hasn't done that. So let's say 2,000. Let's go with a minimum of 1,000 to 2,000. And believe you me, the market is swamped with Mark IIs at the moment. So if you are looking for a Focus, go for a Mark II, because they are everywhere and they are getting cheap. I think early, well, this is in Liverpool. We've got a Mark III Focus here. Manual. 1.6 manual. Yeah, go for the good old-fashioned Sigma. That is the model to go for. I would certainly go for the 1.6 because this is the car. I passed my driving testing and it was the same colour as well. MOT is valid to October. New clutch fitted 3 months ago. Headlights replaced. Perfect car for first car delivery drivers. It was my first car. Great car, well maintained, minus scratches compared to its age. Only sends you to purchasing a new car. It's great on cheap. Do you know, that's a reasonable sell. 1850 is rather cheap. It may need a few bits doing to it, but overall, yeah, I like these. I do somewhat like the styling on the Mark IIIs. It's not to everyone's taste, and I don't quite think they're as good as Mark 2.5s or Mark 1s, but I have a soft spot for these cars, and the only way I would get one is a 1.6. So really, there are a load of Mark IIs. There's quite a spread here. I mean, if we go to one in Birmingham, let's say, 1,000. Oh, this has been battered beyond all belief. Wow, the bodywork is in poor condition. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you can't not disguise that. That's just what. I'm sorry. That's really bad. That's really bad. You're not going to get £500 for that. You'd have to sell it at £500. There's no way you can't. Honestly, I can't find many Mark 1s between, I'd say, £500 and £2,000. And that's a 250 mile radius from Birmingham, and I'm central. And there's just not many around. it does look like the theory that I had, that all the worst examples are basically leaving us. They're for breaking and spares. I mean, we've seen a bunch of them in this video, and they are at the bottom end. But there are some real bargains. But you have to be really, really careful with what are genuine sales and what are fraudsters, because quite frankly, the Mark IV Focus, that's just very suspiciously cheap. And if you think it's suspiciously cheap, go in with 5 or 6 pairs of eyes. Preferably go with somebody if you're going to view that car. Do not exchange money, do not send any money. You go to visit that car and you go with someone you know and might know about cars. If you don't, but most of you will, but just have somebody there as another set of eyes, because this sounds really, that sounds dodgy, to be honest with you. There's some really poor adverts, lazy, typical Facebook marketplace adverts, but you do find the odd peach and genuine sale of, like, this car's got problems, we haven't got the time to sort it, we've got a newer car, take it away for this much. And that's an honest sell. The problem is you do have to look at every advert with a suspicious eye, but I find it quite hilarious, some of the things that people do in the adverts, especially blocking out registration plates. I mean, who are you trying to stop looking at your registration plate? Anybody can see it. I just don't get it. But Mark 1s are definitely disappearing at the bottom end of the spectrum, because Facebook Marketplace was awash with these cars ages ago. Now I'm struggling. Mark 2s are awash because they are now the banger car. Mark 1s have slightly gone beyond that now. They're not banger cars no more. They're literally either decrepit or they're really good examples that are being kept by their owners because they know they're probably not going to get another one anytime soon in that condition, like mine. Anyway, guys, I thought this would be quite interesting to do, as usual. I have no idea what the next one will feature, but I will definitely go over this theme. Maybe I'll do a combined one. So I will see you very soon. Take care, and thank you for subscribing and enjoying the channel. For all those who have actually subscribed, your support makes such a massive amount of difference to what I do in terms of what I'm making and how frequently I'm making it. It really is a bit of a boost, and when people put the odd comment here and there or the odd email, it just makes such a difference. And when I see a couple more subscribers, I get that extra bit of motivation. So, you know, for somebody who, this channel is free. I'm actually paying to actually create this channel because I want to create it. I've not earned a penny from this, so I'm doing this all in my own spare time when I can. So it really makes a difference when people verbally encourage me and what I do, because believe you me, I will be carrying on for a while, a long time. So I'm not going to waste anytime soon. I will not be doing that. So you take care, guys. See you very soon.